All right, we are live.
We're live.
And
What is
I don't know how
up?
many- It seems like it's been what, a couple months
It's
now?
been
Actually,
ages.
since we did our last
It's
one.
been a busy summer /
Yeah.
spring. We're busy.
Next time we should
What can you
probably
say?
put a thing up saying we'll be back in a few
We'll be
months.
back.
But you never know. Like things come up, and you try to do it every week, and all of a sudden it doesn't happen, and here we are.
Yeah.
What's it been like? Was it April?
Yeah, it's
I
been.
think
a
it
while.
was because it was March Madness. We were
I
talking
think
last.
maybe
Yeah,
it
that's
was
right.
like beginning of April.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
crazy.
don't remember.
That's it. So that's all right.
But yeah.
But that means we got a lot to talk about today.
Well,
Or
Gary
at least
does.
Gary does.
We know that because we're
I
gonna
got
get
a few
caught up here.
things.
So we were actually going to do, and I'll preface this, we were going to actually do a Gen Con specific episode, but we can't get Matt Ryan for tonight from Envy Born Games, but he is good for next weekend. So we're going to do another live stream in a week. So this is a lot quicker than we normally like to do, but tonight's I think will be not as long, probably about an hour.
I think so.
We'll shoot for an hour on this one, but it's just the three of us tonight too. These three sets.
And I think if you're watching, go ahead and throw the any questions you have, anything you want to know about what we've been doing or playing or things we're not covering as we're talking. Throw them in the chat, and we'll get to them as we talk.
Yeah. So this is going to be pretty much Gary's show, and I think we want to start off with the results, right, of our bracket that we feverishly kicked off months and months ago for March Madness, and now we gave the final results, right?
Yes, it's been a while. I actually had a few people at Gen Con hunt me down and ask me when are we going to see the survey results. And I think at last check we were at the Elite 8, I believe.
Yeah.
I think so. And so we will. I got those results for you, and then maybe next week we can go ahead and maybe we could do it live or something, and we can have some live voting or something because I didn't have quite time to make the new survey, so we could do it live. So
yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and share my screen, and I'm trying to look cool here, and I didn't. These glasses are really dark. So I'm gonna have to take them off.
I can't take you seriously with those on anyway.
I know, man. They look huge on my face. Okay, so I was at a wedding a few weeks ago. Julie's cousin got married, and so they were giving those out, and they look pretty cool. So I thought I'd wear them.
They're awesome.
Girls got heart ones. I'm not wearing the heart ones. So, but yeah. So those are my new shades. Okay, so we got some results here. So let me pull my thing up here too. So let's see. We got 8 games. So we're down to this is a Sweet 16. So we'll go to the Elite 8 after this. And I have that chart pulled up so you can see everything. So the first game was Clank Legacy versus On Mars. Any guesses what might have won that one?
I'm going to say On Mars.
Yeah, I would agree.
It was a close vote.
I'll go with Clank. Why not?
Oh,
what is
that
this
one? There we go. Let's try that one. On Mars won by 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Split.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, we had 66 responses. That's pretty good. So,
right.
But yeah. So On Mars, Lacerda hangs on for another one. So all you Lacerda freaks out there, you got you another win.
Yeah.
Next game was, I can't remember. We'll just see it here. It was Viscounts of West Kingdom Wingspan. Another close one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wingspan.
Closer than I expected. Yeah.
Yeah. Wingspan bringing it in.
Yeah.
Now you got the
I would have
Wormspan
expected
out
it to be
there.
higher.
Yeah.
I think I wonder if that's going to actually cause a drop in sales for
What's
Wingspan. Wormspan. Like, less than there are people
Yeah,
chasing that
maybe.
instead.
Well, yeah. I saw quite a bit of it at Gen Con, but I mean, you go to the Meeple Source booth. They have tons. Yeah. They're like the Wingspan Meeple Source. They got other stuff, but they had a ton of Wingspan and Wormspan stuff. So
yeah,
still definitely.
I'm sorry. When I was at PAX last year, I bought some pieces for Wingspan, like the bird player. Instead of the cubes, you have like little birds. You can have all kinds of different birds. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see a lot of that.
I pimped out my game. My game is super pimped out. So
that's the way to do it. I mean, if you got a game that you love,
game.
Yeah.
I never bring it out though, because I have this giant nesting box that's this big and it's not easy to carry around. But I still love it.
All right. So got 2 down. Next game was Dune Imperium Lost Ruins of Arnak. Look at that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Right.
So
Wow.
yeah, there's the
Lots of
one that
roots on
everybody
that.
says, oh,
Wow.
just pick one. Or I mean, they are kind of different. I see where
They're
some of
very
those-
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very
I
different. I can see what they're getting at, but yeah, they're very different. But
Yeah.
I tell you, Lost Ruins is, I think it's going to be becoming just a classic. It's so good. And even that expansion
I would
with
agree.
the
Yeah.
campaign part and the solo,
Yeah.
very, very, very good. I'm sure they'll add more stuff to that game.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
we're still
People love that game.
we're still yet to play Dune Imperium for real.
For
Yeah.
real?
And,
For real?
Yeah,
real?
like we played it the first time and it just like
Well, we
was
we got the Rise of X.
yeah.
Oh, right.
last year, but still
So
haven't
one of
played
those
it.
games where they're like, well, you have to have this expansion for it to be any good. I'm like, well, why is that?
Yeah, well, it should add in the first
Why?
part. Yeah. the first
Yeah,
part.
like why did it have to be bad first? So it was rough, and I'll see if it gets any better with this expansion.
And they add, well, of course, then you had Uprising, which they said was just
Mhm.
1.5. But you maybe saw at Gen Con, they did announce a new expansion, Bloodlines, that's coming. They announced it like on the last day or maybe it was Saturday of Gen
Yeah.
Con. So that's coming for all
I'm
the
not
Dune
surprised.
fans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll just continue to exploit it
Yeah, definitely.
like crazy.
they'll keep
It's
adding
popular
that.
too.
Yeah.
All right, the next game was Planet Unknown and Res Arcana.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Planet Unknown is such a good game.
That is good.
It's really
People
good.
love that game. It's
Yeah.
cool. I love, obviously like, oh, it's got the Lazy Susan in it, but it's a fun game too.
I wonder,
Like
have
trying
they,
to make every
have they started shipping when the second release of that? I know that was like a huge
I
game
don't know.
found. I don't know if
I have
they've
no
shipped
idea.
that out or not. Yeah.
I don't know.
I have Res Arcana, but we haven't played it yet.
It's okay.
Just reading the rules, though, I'm like, this doesn't seem like a game that should be rated so highly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I can see why a lot of people liked it initially, just some of the way the card plays and stuff. But since then, other games kind of came out pretty quickly right after that. It kind of just did a little bit better. So, but it's still played, especially people that first got it. They still love it. So they still support
Well, we'll
it.
give it a shot.
Yeah. All right. Next game was Arc Nova and Revive. Look at that.
Huh. I'm not surprised by
Not
that
surprised
at
at
all.
all.
Yeah.
No.
We liked Revive, but I think we need to play it again because
We do.
it just wasn't.
It didn't click for me.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know
didn't
why.
love it.
It was just kind of like okay. Like
Mhm.
the gameplay was just okay. And from what I remember, it kind of felt like you were just sort of moving through the motions. Like it felt very predictable for me, I think. But
It's-
yeah, we need to play it again.
I think that game probably shines like most games at probably the 3 to 4 count because you got that map
That's-
on the
yeah.
side.
Mhm.
That's
you
the
have-
thing. Yeah.
You could have 4 people all coming in and trying to get those pieces of land. So
Right.
Right.
that would make a big difference. But
Yeah.
yeah, Arc Nova is just a monster of a game still. So
Yeah, it really is good.
all right, now the next one will be Paladins and Cascadia. Look at Paladins.
Wow.
Wow,
Oh,
Paladins
wow.
crushed it.
Tell you, Garfield,
Huh.
they're just killing.
Yeah.
I saw where they had a little live stream this evening announcing they have like 4 or 5 expansions coming out. One for
Wow.
Wayfarers, one for South Tigers, one for Scholars,
Yeah.
one for the Moon Saga or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And have you guys got a chance to play Ezra Nehemiah yet?
No.
Not yet. No. Uh-uh. Did you play
it? Yes. That game is
Okay.
so that's my favorite Garfield. And I like a
Okay.
number of them, but that's my favorite one. And it's just
Yeah.
that right amount of medium plus because their latest games have been getting really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play Scholars, but I've heard people play Scholars like, okay, yeah, this is heavy. I mean, it's good, but it's just heavy.
Yeah.
But Ezra Nehemiah, and I taught it to a couple of kind of, kind of gamers. They'll play some your pandemics and stuff, and they picked it up, and very, very, very fun game.
So
Interesting.
what you're
Oh,
saying
cool.
is I could potentially be able to play that game and not have a total, brain melting experience.
There's still some brain melting, but you know
I'm
what?
sure.
It makes sense though. That's the thing. It makes
Yeah.
sense, and there's once you realize, wow, okay, there are truly multiple paths to victory here. So
Okay. That's
find
good.
one. There's really only 3 things you can do:
Yeah.
build a wall, work on the Torah, which is kind of your tech tree part,
Mhm.
or work in the temple and doing the sacrifices. It's kind of everybody's kind of got to do some wall building from what I can understand. I see. Right.
Right.
Yeah, you got to contribute a little bit, but but then pick one, like hit 2 of the 3, and you're gonna do well. So
Yeah. I just find a lot of those Garfield games, like, again, just very prescriptive, and you're just kind of going through and doing the thing and finding the thing and building the thing. And
we
it's like,
also haven't played any of his
yeah.
current
right. Yeah. I
games
guess we've
that
just played
people
the
kind of
older
rave
ones.
about. I think that's kind of. I think because we didn't really like the earlier ones,
Right.
we just fell off, and
Mhm.
once you kind of lose faith in a designer, you stop playing their games.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I guess we should try. I think with
Yeah,
this
well,
one
we
we might
definitely
give it.
will.
I like
Yeah.
thematically, it's up our alley.
Yeah.
And thematic, I mean, it really is. It does a great job thematically. I mean, if you know
That's
the
awesome.
story, it is like,
Yeah.
oh wow, this totally makes sense. I see what we're doing here. And just
That's
got a little
neat.
bit of that crunchiness. You know what? I like what you just said there, because I think that's true for a lot of designers and a lot of their
Mhm.
games. You kind of get to the point like, okay, a Fister comes out. All right, I kind of
Mhm.
know what this is going to be about.
Yeah.
Generally, they could obviously
Uh-huh.
surprise you. Same with Garfield. Same with Lacerda. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I kind of
Yeah.
see some of the other games in here and everything. But
Right.
I thought Ezra and Nehemiah really kind of broke a little bit of some of that mold.
Okay.
Especially
That's cool.
thematically.
I'm excited to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely try it.
Okay, we will give that a shot.
And I think, do I have one more? Yes, or maybe 2. No, 2 more. Next one is
Yeah.
Heat and Maracaibo. Look at that.
Oh,
Ooh,
Wow.
Maracaibo
just
takes
ancient.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eking
I
out
agree
a
with
1
that.
point
Yeah.
victory. Yeah.
Right.
And I
2 very
was
different games, though.
so close to getting Pirates
Yeah.
with the playmat.
Oh, were you?
Oh, were you?
But I'm just like, I want to play it. I want to play it first before I take the dive, because I don't want to have 2 basically the same
It's
game.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It plays so differently than
Right.
Maracaibo does. You'll see. Yeah,
It's really good.
You'll get it. You'll end up getting
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
it's not the same.
And I could see, because when I was I'm okay. By the way,
Yeah.
quick side note: Capstone Games, absolutely just killing it.
Oh yeah.
At Gen Con,
100%.
that was one of the booths that was just people were just wiping that booth out every single
Yep.
day.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, I was
Not
talking.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking. I think it was David Waybright at Man vs. Meeple, talking to him, and he was telling me that Clay, who runs Capstone, basically had to make a run all the way back to Cincinnati to the warehouse just to get more stuff.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Because they were selling Pirates, and they were selling that new Roanoke, the Salem Witch Trial game, which I heard is very
Oh.
good.
Pagan? Is that Pagan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Some of my friends picked that up, so I was just I remember the theme of that. I was like, oh yeah, Roanoke Island. It's about kind of like the Lost Colony.
Yes.
Yeah,
and,
that's awesome.
Wow.
evidently, that's a very good
Marty said he
game.
played it too.
And they came with a playmat. You had a playmat with that one too. So I really like how they're doing their games with, kind of add this nice playmat in with it. Because I could tell with Pirates, that's a game you really want that playmat, because it's gonna.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
it'll keep the cards organized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. So
Yep.
if you
Yeah.
get Pirates of Maracaibo, just get the playmat. It's $20
Yeah.
at mini market. So that's why I saw it
That's great, yeah.
yesterday. So
That's cheap.
Wow,
for
yeah,
a
that's not
mat.
bad.
That's great.
No, that's a
Yeah,
good
and-
price.
yeah,
And Capstone has that they work now with Cranio, so they're like publishing a lot of the Cranio games
Yeah.
in the US, which
Yeah.
is going to be huge too.
Yeah.
and I see Marty in the chat. He's talking about Capstone.
Yeah.
And he just played
He
Pagan.
played
and I'm
Pagan.
kicking myself for not getting the mat. Hey, he's a mini market sponsors him. I bet they can get him a nice work that source, Marty.
I love his little icon. It's a squirrel.
Yeah, that's his.
Yeah.
That's their logo. Rolling dice and taking names.
A squirrel drinking coffee. That's my spirit. Right there.
There you
And
go.
Finally,
Is that it? Oh, we
the
got
last
one more.
game is going to be Kanban and
Oh.
Radlands.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised
It's
there.
called Rad
Also
Lads.
Lacerda.
Rad lads, rad lads. That's a whole nother
That's a whole
game.
other game there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was behind the secret booth at Gen Con. I didn't go in there
Behind the curtain.
With the curtains.
with the curtains. Yeah.
Oh man.
So okay, so those are the that was those. So we'll go ahead and get out of that and let me
Okay.
share my screen with the other so we can see what the brackets now look like. All right. There you go.
Oh, yeah, let me share that. There we
Very
go.
good. Ooh, man, this is gonna be fun.
There. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
as you can see on Mars is now with a wingspan.
Wingspan.
That's a toughie.
Oh man.
Then we got Lost
Arnak and
Ruins.
Planet Unknown.
Yep. I think I know who will win that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
You think Arnak's gonna win?
I think
he
Arnak
might.
would win that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arc
I think
Nova
Arc
versus
Nova.
Paladins.
Yeah, Arc
Yeah.
Nova's gonna take that.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
Maracaibo versus Kanban. I think
Mm.
that's a good one.
Mm.
So
That's a
looking
tough one.
here, it looks like we got it's 1919. So it looks like we got 3 2019 games, 2 2020 games,
Uh-huh.
a 2021 game, and no 2022 games, if I'm saying that correctly.
That sounds about
one. Planet Unknown.
Wow,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
121, 122, and then 2 of the or 3 and then 2. Yeah,
2019.
so not bad.
Yeah. So your 2019 was a good year.
2019 was a solid year. There is
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
Nice.
So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So how are we gonna put out another survey then?
well, we could put out another survey,
For the
or
rest?
next week we could just we could do it
do next week.
We could do it live.
Do it
Yeah.
live. Yeah, we'll
Let's
do it live.
We'll do it
Do
live.
the
We
last
could-
2 rounds live.
Yeah, exactly. We just go to the final 4, and then that'll take long at all, and then we could just have the chat vote on it. So
Yeah. So make sure
do
you're
that.
on next Sunday.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
the 24th, August 24th,
Yeah.
I believe.
do it live.
So you can vote. So you can vote for your favorites.
Vote for your
Push them to the end.
Mhm.
Watch all those Sarah people crash the chat.
Yeah.
Cult of Lacerta, they will be here. The
It's
Cult
the
of
great-
Lacerta.
Our very own little election conspiracy happening
Right,
here in our
right
bracket.
Gary likes a good conspiracy.
All right. So, what do you want to know about Gen Con? I know there's been a lot of
Mm.
videos out there. I talk about their Gen
Yeah.
Con experience, or I could just I could talk a little bit what I experienced.
I'd like to hear that. Yeah.
And I'd in particular like to hear how this Gen Con has compared to the last few, if you've gone or what you've seen. Because I know coming off of COVID, it was kind of like not really like a con anymore. Like
Right.
it was like less people. But I think this year they sold out, didn't they?
They sold out before the
pretty
con
quick.
started.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
So they sold out. I don't know if that would have been technically Tuesday or
Yeah.
Wednesday. I don't know. But when I went to go pick up my official press badge,
Gary represented us this year. 'Cause
that's right. I was the
yes.
press correspondent for Ant Lab
He was
Games.
rubbing all the elbows for us.
Yeah.
right.
All the business meetings. That's good.
Getting that free coffee in the press press room.
The pressure.
Hey, fellow press guys, what's going on?
They're like, Anthony, you've changed.
Yeah. I don't look as Asian as much as I did.
No, not quite.
But yeah, so it was the first time it's been sold out since I want to say it was either 2017 or 2019. It might have been 2017. Either way, it's been a while since it's been completely sold out. It's sold out the last couple of years, but it's like the day before, like, okay, now all Fridays sold out, and then Friday comes, now all Saturdays sold out. And you don't see a whole lot of Sundays sold out because a lot of people have left. You know, it's a lot of families, but they totally sold out. I mean, tickets for Sunday were just $18 a piece, which is very, very nice. So,
yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was, and you know, every year they break new records, and I think I see kind of what they're doing. Like, you know, it was like, I want to say it was 70,000 or 71,000 people this year. But what they do is they just kind of add a few more. You know, we'll add 100 tickets. Oh, we broke the record again.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still think that on some days they are selling more than that. You know, I think some of that I don't know for sure. I'm speculating, but I think you're dealing with fire marshal stuff. But they were like just kind of on the side, maybe selling some. But I'm going to tell you, Thursday, I've never seen a Thursday like that. That expo hall was so full. And usually it's like Friday and maybe Saturday is like crazy.
Yeah.
Saturday felt what usually like a Thursday felt to me. Thursday was just, it was just, it's a shoulder to shoulder. It was a ton of people. So was Friday. Friday was very, very busy. If you talked to a couple of just kind of the, exhibitors, including Matt, I bet if he was here, he'll tell you next week. I bet he was, he told me he was doing very well. I think he did very well the whole week. So it was just a lot of people, which I expected, but overall it was a really good con. I would say it's probably one of the more fun ones I've been to in a while.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I will say, like, remember when we used to go to Gen Con? You're like, okay, what's the surprise game?
Yeah, right.
Who's gonna bring out something new? There's none of that anymore. I mean, you got the Bloodlines announcement, but that game's not even out yet. FFG did their in-flight report, which they hadn't done in a few years. I went to that. I know Marty was there. He and Tony were at that, and that was a big old crowd. And so they talked a lot about the new Arkham Horror, Star Wars Unlimited stuff that's coming out, which I've been playing and getting into. A Game Genic does a lot of stuff now with Fantasy Flight, so they're making amazing sleeves for their card games, as well as these awesome like card boxes that have even like little compartments where you slide out and have all your tokens. So,
oh wow,
yeah, they're very, very nice. So there was that kind of stuff, and then that was pretty much the only really like Gen Con events I went to. Because for me, I've kind of learned, those first couple of years you go and you're excited and you're signing up for all these events, and you get to like 40% of them. Some of the games run over, or you're running across. People don't understand, like, okay, this place is huge. You're not going to go from, okay, I got this game at 2, it ends at 3, but I'm going to play this then game at 3. No, you're not.
Yeah. It's city blocks. Like you're literally spanning city blocks.
You better have an hour.
Like Indianapolis city blocks, which for some reason are enormous.
Right.
Plus an entire stadium. Also, it's like, that's a lot.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. They use the stadium now.
Yeah, they play in the stadium. There was a few vendors there too, I believe.
There's vendors down in there, lots of gaming space. I see Marty said, I think now people realize you have to go Thursday before things sell out. That is true. That is very true, because things sell out fast. Now, there are some exhibitors that have gotten a little smarter. I think this started last year. Like, okay, we're bringing 500 games or 400 games. We're going to sell 100 each day.
Yeah, right. They do that at PAX now too.
Yeah. And so that helps, but that, it's also back. Now you're back to, but no running to go get the game.
Right? Just walk fast.
Your speed walk champions going. They're doing their whole speed walk.
Right. Yeah. They're doing the whole, it's a speed walk. All right. It's a half run, like basically what it is. And Marty can correct me if I'm wrong on this. Because I know he was helping with, he and Toby were helping, I believe, with Portal Games. So they're already in there. But I've noticed that so I had to still stand outside because they don't let press in early anymore. They've kind of stopped.
Yeah, they haven't done that, I think, in a while. Yeah.
I tried.
So it's you basically
you know
get
who I
nothing.
am.
Yeah.
Look at this. I am the ant. So I had to like rush to. So Thursday. So the first game, I was like, okay, I want to get Comic Hunters. That was the game I wanted. Yeah. I didn't know it was already being sold at Barnes and Noble, but I'm at Gen Con. Let me get my Comic Hunters, right? So I parked myself strategically. So I'm going to go right to the Arcane booth because you got all the doors around. You kind of look at your map, go to Arcane. Oh no, it's at Spin Masters. I'm like, I didn't even know they had a booth. And I'm like, oh. So Spin Masters was there. They're the main people. I don't know. They have some connection with Arcane that's helping with the distribution or something like that. Okay, fine. go all the way over, fight crowds. You're doing this and get over the comic. They're long sold out. Sold out. All right, fine. So I started going around trying to find some of the other games I wanted. But on Friday, parked myself, rushed all the way there, got my comic hunters. But the thing is, even with the exhibitors, some of these like hot games, they're even making the exhibitors stand in line too. Like,
Oh,
how
wow.
they could go around and get some of the games. I don't know if all of them, not all of them, obviously, but some of the big games you also got to stand and wait. So you're rushing, and you're like, okay, I know there's gonna be 100 copies. I'm at least gonna be in the mid 50s, but you get there, there's already 50 people in line from exhibitors. Like, oh man.
Oh, right.
But so I did get my comic hunters.
Nice.
Sweet.
From Barnes and Noble.
Yeah. Well, what was nice is they did have a QR code.
Okay.
That if you got it, you got 25% or 20% off the game from Barnes and Noble. I'm like, okay, well, just so I'm like, on Thursday I'm doing that, and I'm looking at all the Barnes and Noble near me. I'll just go pick it up. They're all gone.
Oh yeah.
Like,
right.
of course.
No.
Like, fine.
Maybe
I'm just I'll just rush and get it on Friday.
Yeah.
But what was really neat, what you can't get at Barnes and Noble, because because the cards are all these old comics. So it's is if you demoed a game, you could get these foil versions
those are fancy.
Those are cool.
Of some of the comics that are used in the game. So you get like the foil versions of them.
Are those like the rare ones in the game?
Yeah, it's like the best, some of the best ones.
That's cool though. That makes sense though.
Which that's like one of my favorite
really
ones.
Cool. Yeah.
Like I have great, that comic. I just read it like about a year ago. So that you had to demo a game. I think you get on eBay. There's people selling these for $30, and all you had to do is demo a game. So I demoed a quick card game called Dumb Ways to Die or something, and I don't know. I'm like, here, just give me my card. I want to go. I got to get another. I got to rush to get another game.
Yeah.
And then they were also selling a Marvel's United expansion called The Witching Hour, which is like some of the witches, like Scarlet Witch and stuff. Well, when I got up there to get my game, I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and take one of those, because I had some friends that I knew would want it. So got that and everything. So then started walking around. So after that, I ended up going and getting. I know I've talked about this one. I went ahead and got Gnome Hollow.
Okay. I want to play this.
Nice. Yes.
I want you to play this. This looks so cute.
And it's and the other thing is I got the wooden deluxe bits. They really had a really nice bundle deal, and they had a lot of these games. And so I got the deluxe bits, are real chunky wood with the screen printed, like for the mushrooms or flowers and stuff on that. You also got a.
Is this the game that they? Oh my god! I need it. I need that. Is this the one where they use the? It's like they're wooden bits, but the way they process them, they feel like plasticky. Is this the game that did that?
It may be. They definitely feel like wood, but you're right. They may be. I forget what they call that stuff.
Like a resin or something.
It's not a resin. It's like recycled wood or something.
Yeah, it's like. I could be way off.
Feel to it. Yeah,
somehow it's like
neat.
They grind up wood. I think there's some glue component in it.
Yeah.
And then there's maybe some plastic, and they grind it all up.
Okay.
And form it, and they make this.
Yeah, there's a name for it. I don't remember.
Blood, or I don't know.
There was a game that had that in
plastic,
there.
I know.
I thought it was Gnome Hollow. It could have been something else, but that's why I mentioned it. But
that's cool.
The Gnome Hollow stuff, just from I've seen from like blogs and Gary was posting, they had this giant balloon like mascots walking around. They were the coolest things. I've never seen a giant balloon mascot. I mean,
yeah, they had
you're taking a risk if somebody's gonna be a jerk and try popping those balloons. But I was like, that is so cool. I've never seen anything like a balloon, like somebody walking around with a giant balloon, like
So what that is
statue on them.
Ever since I've been going, there is a guy, and he makes these massive balloon sculptures. One year he did this huge
Oh,
dragon.
I remember that.
It was like
Yes,
Yes,
I remember
yeah, I
that.
remember the
like
dragon.
Yes.
full length of the hallway,
Yep.
which is like
We were
Yes,
there. We were there at Gen
Yeah.
Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this year
Yeah, that's awesome.
he made a gnome hollow like gnome home, and he made 4 of the
Oh, that's so
pink, the
cool.
blue,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you get
neat.
in them, and people are in them. They're doing dances and stuff, and
Yeah.
Oh, you better believe I would have been inside one of those things acting like a doofus. Because it's just
So
That's really cool.
that sounds awesome.
that's what they
It's
did,
so much
yeah. So
fun.
that was pretty cool, and he does it so fast. He's doing it on Wednesday night, or he's doing it on Wednesday, and I already saw he'd already had one of them done. By Thursday, he had them all done. So I mean, he must do this, all night. So
It's really
Yeah.
hurt after a while. You're twisting all the. If you ever seen balloon animals be made,
yeah.
but then don't they pop them all after that? They have like that
Yeah, then
massive
after-
thing, they just-
On Sunday, yeah, the kids get around and they
Yeah.
pop them. And I think I don't know, there may be a kind of a charity part to that or something, kind of like the Cardala.
I
all the
think
card
Yes.
towers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you see that and you're like, you put in so much work, but then again, what else are you gonna do with it?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
balloons.
they're all
It's
gonna
go
deflate anyway.
Yeah,
after
make
a
it
while,
fun.
then it's just gonna look really sad.
Yeah.
So then after that, so I got that game, and then I went over to the I forget who. I went over to the Arcane Wonder booth. So that's Gnome Hollow is the op.
Yeah.
And the other game, they do the Stalk Exchange. That's the other
Yeah,
game that they're
right.
I've
doing.
heard of that one too. It's flowers.
So
It's
I
like
saw
an auctioning game or something. A comic game. With
I got
flowers.
this one, Intent to Kill. It's kind of a kind of like hidden deduction thing, but it's like, or excuse me, it's kind of like it's deduction, but it's kind of like hidden movement, but there's no like hiding movement. But there's one person's a murderer and everybody else is trying to find who the murderers are and everything.
Okay.
The art's really cool, and a lot of people reviewed it, said it's actually very, very good, very, very replayable. So I got that because I might try it. But the big game I wanted to get at Arcade Wonders, I keep hitting my mic, is, and I'm telling you, you guys get this game. Video game
champion.
Yeah.
This game is so much fun. I played it while I was there, and I don't know if you know anything about it. It's a Brazilian
only what you told us.
Yeah, another big Brazilian game, just like Comic Hunters.
Yes.
And World Wonders. Don't forget that's also.
Oh, that's
Brazilian.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lots of games coming out of Brazil.
But this game would be, if you're Gen Z, you're probably not going to care about this game too much. But if you're Gen X and you're an older millennial or something like that, and you played this type of stuff, you're going to love this game because it has one of my most favorite mechanics. It's that grid action mechanic where, and it's that
like
it's
programming kind of.
It's well you got
action selection.
You got actions here, right?
Oh, it's like Nova Roma. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Nova Roma. That was cool. I like that. That's the first time when I played Nova Roma. It was the first time I ever played an action grid. So
Automania. That's when I first did Action Grid.
Oh yeah, I played that too. It's been a while, but I have played Automania. That's a good game.
So you're gonna take one of these, and they're like a little like the A, B, X, Y buttons. That's how you're kind of playing.
Yeah.
And they got numbers on them because what you're doing is you're kind of doing set collection and some sequencing or maybe some matching to play these games. But these is how you're going to take your actions. You're going to need to take these to be able to play the games. But when you take one of these, you're going to either take the action right above it or down here at the side. You get to pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And some of these actions are get money, beg your mom for to buy you a game, go to grandma, she'll give you a little money.
Right.
Oh, wow.
You go trade your games in at GameStop for $2.
Use an action. So what you do is like this right here, the way it's explained, it's funny. The way it's explained is like, okay, these are the games you rent. Like this is Blockbuster. You remember you go to the you try to get the new hit before somebody else went and got it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And so you're gonna put your little meeple thing down here. And everybody starts with one game you can work on. And the way you play the game, way you master the game is like maybe you need a 6, 7, 8, 9, but all in red, like a sequence, or maybe you just need all reds, or something like that, or maybe 3 6s. It doesn't have to be, it could be any color, because that's how these games, that's how you play them. And once you've played them, you've mastered them.
Yeah.
And you'll get some points and stuff like that for them. You can also, because some of these games are hard, you got to get a lot of these, because down here, when you're grabbing these tiles, you can only have 8 of them down here in your little thing. But sometimes when you're begging your parents for money, you take these things that are basically IOUs, and they take up space in your 8 spots. So if you're constantly begging, eventually you have to basically do chores over here to get rid of some of these things. So you have to like, oh, fine, I'll go study.
Funny.
Yeah, super thematic.
Oh,
But remember, sometimes, hey, you can actually buy a magazine like Nintendo Power, and when you do that, that'll help you permanently give you some color schemes or something you can always use. You don't have to always get as many of these, because you've kind of got knowledge.
You got tips, you got ins.
Yep. And then you can also buy brand new games, and you can buy these games, and when you get it, only you have that game. No one else can play that game, and you can get it.
Cool.
You got to pay your parents because it's too expensive. You don't have enough money to buy it. You can get it, but you're gonna have to end up paying them off somehow to get rid of some of those IOUs. And then there's other like little objectives that you can play for, like you're the first person to rent 3 games and play them or something. But it's a little meatier than you think. It's it's easily one of the most thematic games you will have played in a long time.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That's a good one.
That reminds me so much. Now, I technically wasn't as much a video gamer than my brother. So he was the one, because he's older than me. So he's the one that was into it. I kind of just watched most of the time. But I remember just like all his friends would come down. Oh, Lou got the new game. So then they'd all be down in the basement playing whatever the new game was. And of course, I try to sneak down on the steps and get out of here. Typical.
Get out. Boys only.
Down. I know. Brothers. But then eventually
they're working on Contra.
I do remember watching him play that. I 100% remember Contra. But I think eventually I started to kind of like I started to play them after a while. Mostly it was Super Nintendo for me, because I was a little bit older, but I'd start playing Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, which is still one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game so much. I think I played it more than him after a while, and I like got every secret level, and now I don't play games at all. Just board games, just the analog variety. Yeah.
That's it.
Or board games about video games.
Well,
so meta. Weird.
Like I said, I totally get everything that's in there, because I kind of was always along for the journey with him, even though I wasn't playing. And then it was like he and my uncle would play like the big RPGs like Final Fantasy and Dragonlance and all that. And I used to just sit and watch those little kid, loved them because they were like a story, which is the coolest thing ever. So that is a cool game. I'm sure somebody in my group got it because I had friends at Gen Con. So hopefully I'll get a chance to try it out. Just for
definitely
get some chuckles out of it.
Of all my stack and the ones that I've played so far, this one and another one I'll share in just a second. This one is not leaving for a long time. Yeah. So that's a very good game. After that, I got 3 more here I can share with you.
Keep it rolling, man. This is the Gary show.
It's the Gary show.
Yeah, he's got all the content, man.
Y'all haven't had a breath of fresh air in a while. It's got a little stale around here. Right? War Story, Occupied France. Okay, so I'm going by Osprey, and I wanted to see the new Undaunted Callisto, or I forget what it's called.
That was the space one, right?
The Space Undaunted. And I knew this might be there. And David Thompson was there, and I was talking to him about this. And he did this with another gentleman who did another game. Oh, I'm forgetting what he did. It's Dave Neal. I forget what he did. But he did another kind of like, he worked on Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. That's the game that Dave Neal did. So David said, he goes, they worked on this for about 4 or so years. And there is a ton, this thing is heavy. There is a ton of
like actual weight, as in physical weight.
As in physical weight.
Okay.
And basically it's a cooperative game. and you're going through scenarios of occupied France in World War II. And these are the books for 3 different scenarios.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're dropping my glasses, my cool glasses. And I mean, it's just scenarios, right? And so you're just kind of going through, and
a lot of text.
there's a lot of text. I mean, obviously, that's why it's like when you play it once, you play it again, it's gonna be, you're gonna have different things come out. And there's other little pieces. There's even a place you have cubes, and there's another little board where you're putting your cubes around, kind of where you're at. There's even little trucks, because sometimes you have to get in trucks and go places. I'm waiting to play this because the Osprey is going to put out. They had a tutorial there that kind of basically helped you play the game, but they didn't have it in the game. But it's coming very soon. I specifically asked about it, and so once that tutorial will be out here, maybe hopefully like in a week or two, you can play that, and it'll basically teach you the whole game. You got these like team sheets.
Oh wow!
You know. So there's a lot of stuff kind of going on here. So it's a little bit of fairly meaty thing. It's even got secret like
dossiers.
Don't open them. Yeah, don't open them. And stuff like that.
Don't open.
Don't open. You might die. Yeah. So I would love to get
got anthrax in it.
But that's not. I was just about to say that too. I don't know.
Minds,
we have got the same mind.
But with me and my little war gaming that I got going on right now, so I'm really pumped about that one, because I never played Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. I've always kind of wanted to, but I didn't have a group that would probably do it. But this might be a little more palatable. So with some of them, so we'll see. And you can play it solo too. I'd rather just play it with other people though. Yeah. All right, 2 more games. I kind of saved these ones because top of my designer list, I mean, are probably like Feister or Pfister. Kramer Kiesling. I love their games. I love David. I'm getting pretty much all of David Thompson's games anymore. And then I love the Automania, Santa Maria, Revive, those guys. Svensson and Ostby. I think that's how I don't know how to speak Norwegian. I should have asked Johannes and Sunnova. I talked with them a couple of times from Board Game Rambling.
You should have. Yeah.
Because they're from Norway. Super awesome people. Really enjoyed hanging out with them. Should ask them, how do you say it? They came for like over 3 weeks. They came early. They'd never been to America, so they started like in LA and worked their way across.
That's so cool.
They hit national landmarks and stuff like that, and then ended up at Gen Con. So
that's pretty cool.
Awesome. I wish I could go do that.
So I know that's like your thing.
I love travel. I love traveling. I need to like hit the lottery or something so I don't have to work. And go, it's just like, all right, bye guys. I'm gonna go travel all over the place.
So the first game, and these 2 games aren't even out yet. Their official releases are at Essen, but they shipped over some.
Oh yeah, right.
For Gen Con. And hardly anybody knew about this game because they only shipped over a few copies, and it's this game called Sparks.
Oh, I think I have seen this.
I think so too.
I have seen the pictures that you have posted. The cover is cool, but it's a little unsettling with those eyes like staring.
It's unsettling
at you.
because of this cat. Not a fan of the cat. The cat with goggles. And all you cats out there go pound sand.
Those are called hoodwinks. Okay, the official term is hoodwinks.
Hoodwinks. So basically, what you're doing here, and it's not a super heavy game. I actually could see this.
Oh, there's a chameleon too.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Anthropomorphic animals. That's like board gaming go-to.
That's in everything now.
Anthropomorphic. Look, Boris the Ravenshire. Anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah,
which that was a hot seller, by the way.
That's a fantastic game. I'm not surprised.
So the reason I love these guys is because they are the dice drafting masters. That is probably my most favorite mechanic is dice drafting. I just love it so much. Like Pulsar 2849.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, right.
I do like that one.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, I got to play that game again. I love that game so much.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I almost wish they'd almost kind of maybe do another theme or skin of it, but I don't even know what they would do. But not that the theme mattered in that game. Anyways, what you have is you're either doing one of 2 things. And right here, you have this. Each round, you roll dice. I think there's like 8 dice. Okay. And here's your player board, and above your player board, there's like a 2, a 3, a 3, a 4, and a 5. I think it is. And so, in each round, everybody will get to be the active player once. And I think there's 4 rounds of that. Okay. And what you'll do is you'll just take one of these and you'll put it up here in the junkyard. And so if you say you put the 4 up there, you're going to take 4 dice, either from this end or the other end.
Okay.
Okay. And then everybody else just gets to take 1 dice. And then you can take those dice. You can put some, you can make robots, or you can go up here and upgrade your factory. And when you make a robot, you'll go up here and you'll move up these tracks, and they'll give you bonuses when you hit certain markers. And
That's cool.
A bunch of points. Also, you have, like, remember in Revive, you kind of got that little lightning bolt, almost like a raising robots. Remember how you had to kind of spark your...
Yes, right. Yes.
Okay, so you build
You'd
your
like
robots.
Energize them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you have energy, you can spark your robots, and it'll give you a couple things, and maybe add more stuff to your factory, or and there's also these animal companions that you can buy, and they'll come and they'll help you and stuff like that. And then each round you'll get your spark back, and then you can use them for other robots. So and that's basically the game, and you're just kind of going back and forth until all the rounds are over. But I really like that dice drafting mechanic. I thought that was really kind of interesting. So that's Sparks. And if I could get this open real quick, I was going to show you
a lot of robot games lately. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's like tons of robot things. You had Raising Robots, Bot Factory. Now you have this one coming out.
So I don't know if you can kind of see this, but these are like your little companions.
Yeah, see? No, like
the anthropomorphic animals, man.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, she doesn't like that.
Here's Frank the shark.
No.
Yeah.
That's Martian and Mark the shark.
I've shown these to my daughter. She's like, I showed this to my daughter. She goes, "Oh, I just want to have this guy. That's Humphrey."
I just want to have him.
See, these games I play, and then I annoy people because the whole time I'm just going, I'm squeeing at everything.
I'm like,
play your card.
Is there a bird?
That looks like good art, though.
Looks cool.
It's very, when you see it up close, you're like, wow. It almost looks computer generated.
Yeah, that's
very
what I'm like. These are really good
done.
images, man.
Yeah, and of course, you got all the dice and everything.
Dice, yeah.
So if you love dice drafting,
cool.
This is probably a game that you'll probably like. So hopefully I'll get this actually maybe played with my daughter once it plays. We'll play this maybe this week. So
nice.
Yeah,
I'll hear about
good.
it. Yeah.
And then the last game I'll show you is oh, by the way, I played El Grande when I was there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And the new version. Have you ever played El Grande?
No.
Okay, it's that older game, and then they redid it. New skin, added the extra stuff, and upgraded the art and everything. It's area control, so if you got 4 or 5, it's better.
Yeah.
You see why it's a classic. It is so good. So if you ever get around 4 or 5 people and you got El Grande, play it.
Mm-hmm.
That's like why we never played it.
I know.
Like, I know.
Group. Yeah.
It's kind of
it's
tough.
like if you can't play it too, it's like really hard for us to.
Right. Yeah. And don't play it too. It's worthless.
Mm-mm.
The last game is Spectacular.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
It is. This game is spectacular. Julie and I played this last night.
It's a weird title because it looks like you're like at a savannah and an observation tower.
Well, when I first saw it, I thought, what is that, a tree house? I haven't even looking at the animals down here. I was like, oh, it's like a tree house game.
I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's like safari. There's animals, there's giraffes and hippos, and I'm pretty sure that's a pangolin.
It's
like,
pangolin.
What is that doing in Africa?
There's like 16 different animals in this, and there's
all there too.
Like rare endangered ones. So that's a thing.
Okay.
So
what
you're doing is, by the way, I'll just say this. This game replaces Cascadia. Like I will not be playing Cascadia anymore.
Saying that.
Yeah.
And it'll make sense in just a minute. because now these are the same guys that just did Sparks.
Right.
Yeah, the Svensons. So
Right.
I think they may have done the Revive, but what you do is you have your basically your area, okay, and everybody starts off with a unique animal, and it's just your animal, and you have a pile of tiles that are unique only to you, and you'll put them right. You put 3 down here. You got 10 of these, and you put 3 down. And then you also have 8 dice. You'll roll the dice at the beginning, and then put them. There's 2 yellow, 2 blue, 2 green, 2 gray. Then you also up here, everybody's going to have one of these supply boards where it's 1 tile in each of these. Like in Cascadia, you have your wetlands and your mountains and stuff. It's like your desert, your water, winter, and a jungle. And then you put some more dice on here. And just like in Taverns of Tiefenthal, so there are 15 rounds. And in each round, you're going to take 1 die or 1 tile from the supply board. And then 1 tile or 1 die from your own personal supply. It's all done simultaneously. Once everybody's done that, then you put them out on your board. Okay. The neat thing is then for the next round, these boards move to the left. And you're rotating like Taverns of Tiefenthal. So you're kind of looking to see what's ahead, right? And then you do the same thing. And so you do this 8 times or until when all these boards are empty. There's 8 objects on here. They're empty. Yeah. That's the first round. You do some scoring. It has to do with the entrance down here. What you're doing is you're trying to match habitats. You're trying to get the highest number die on your animals. If they're a breeding animal, you can only put a 1 or a 2 on, and there's different scoring. There's also these little objectives that are unique to everybody. You can play with these objectives. Also, you have these you have some, are they down? Yeah. You have some workers down here, 1 of each color. And then one's like a wild for any color at any time, say, cause a lot of the animals want a 6 on them, but you have a 1, you could say you have a 1 yellow. You want to make it a 6 yellow. You can take your yellow worker, use it once, and then take that die and flip it to make it a 6. So there's some mitigating things in here. And then you'll do that you'll score real quick, and then you'll play 7 more rounds until this area is gone. Also, there's like these little towers that you can build. If you build towers, that's going to be a whole lot more points. Right. But yeah, and then at the end of the game, you're scoring for your habitats, and you're scoring your animals, and you're scoring for your watchtowers. So they obviously took some love from Cascadia, and then they added dice drafting and some Taverns of Tiefenthal to it. And this game is fast.
Oh, okay, good.
You could play this game. You could play this easily in 20, 25 minutes. After that first learning, everybody sees like, oh, you know what? Let's do this again, because everything is simultaneous.
That's the thing.
Pick a tile or die, place it. Pass. Do it again.
Right. Yeah.
I love simultaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It just plays so much faster when you.
It's so much more like fluid.
Right. Exactly. So I think that's going to be a very, very. I don't know who's going to be selling it in the U.S. I got it from Chill Fox. That's a Norwegian company. So I forget who's selling it here, but I would definitely. If you like Cascadia, you're going to love Spectacular. It'll probably replace Cascadia for you. That's my guess.
That's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. Let me see.
So that was basically my haul. I had a couple of
That's your haul,
things, but yeah, that was the haul.
It's a nice haul.
That was a good haul.
Yeah.
I like the uniqueness of your titles. You're not coming back with here's the.
That's the great thing about Gary.
Here's all the new hotness. You've got the
what I didn't like about ARCs.
Yeah, that's one thing too about ARCs is like I hear it. It's either really good or it's really bad.
Yeah,
it's not good at this player count. It's really take thatty. Like that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
Right. While I was interested, and it's interesting because I was looking at like images of it, seeing posts about it. And I was like, that looks like it could be pretty cool. It's space themed, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, it's a leader game. And I was like, because while people rave over their games, we've never liked any of them.
Yeah,
like
Fort, I think, is the only exception.
Yeah.
Only
all the other ones were just like, nope. Yeah. So.
Well, from everybody I'm hearing, either you love it or you hate it.
Right.
It's like Leader and Lacerda. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, there's just some designers either.
Mhm.
I mean, they have cult followings, or
Yeah.
you really don't
just
like
don't
their
like 'em.
game.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where leaders at, and they're happy with it. And that game was so hot; it sold out every day so fast. But I heard it's very mean, like very mean.
Yeah.
So you got to go in knowing like you're gonna get screwed over, and it's it's gonna be long too. So, but that was one that really didn't interest
that's
me.
what I heard. Yeah, so I just thematically it interested me, and then I'm like,
right.
And then I'm like, it's leader.
I'll just go pick one of the other like 3,000 space games.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's enough choices out there. So I was like, yeah. So
it's something I would probably play, knowing like going into like, all right, this is gonna be, really mean. But after I played a couple of their games, like, they're all right. That's not my thing. So
we just haven't found one outside of Fort that we really enjoyed.
Well, and a lot of their games, you have to invest a lot of time in them.
You have to invest a lot of time,
and you've got to have enough people so you can play all the
and again with
roles.
Two, we're only able to ever play with like the only 2 that you can play at 2 players. So you're never really going to master the game unless you have a bigger group.
Who does Too Many Bones? Roxley?
No, Too Many Bones.
Yeah,
Chip Theory.
Chip Theory. Yeah,
that's another one. You either you like it or you love it, and if you like it, you're going to invest a lot of time in it.
Yeah,
that's a lifestyle game like that.
Right.
I've seen it, and I'm like, that is a lot of stuff, and it's one of those things where it's like you go, you're growing your character, but that's an investment.
Yeah, for sure.
Money.
I'm interested in the new not Too Many Bones game that Chip Theory's coming out with, but it's the I guess it's the Elder Scrolls version of it, or
that's people are getting their copies now.
Yeah, like that I think I'm curious if it's going to be similar to Too Many Bones, or is it going to be more to it than just that, right? Because I mean, I played Too Many Bones, Hoplomachus, played that series, which they're all kind of similar, you know what I mean, the combat style, but I'm just interested to see what the differences are going to be on this one. At least I hope they are, because I love their components, like I love the chips and all that. I just don't like the way the games play.
Right.
And Too Many Bones, the art didn't do it for me.
One other game that I saw, and you had mentioned it before, and I think we may have talked about it on the Discord, but is the Lord of the Rings Duel.
Yes. The 7 Wonders Duel.
But Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I want that.
Get it? It's an automatic buy. I mean, it is just enough different. I mean, now there's a component where you're moving across Middle Earth.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Then there's this cool little track where basically the way the game ends. Well, there's 3 ways the game ends. Either Frodo because there's like this little bar thing that slides, and so you have like the however you're looking at me here. You got the Nazgul, the guys on the horse, and you have Frodo, and they're chasing them. It's kind of like the military track on.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's different.
So
it's a sliding thing. So so the end over here would be like Mountain Doom. So you got to get Frodo over to Mountain Doom while the Nazgul are trying to catch up. And
that's really cool. That's really cool.
Get them up there faster and stuff like that.
Yeah.
While there's a board and you're moving along and trying, because so you got air, and the card art is gorgeous. I don't know whoever they got looks great. Very colorful. Wow. Yeah. And it's still the same mechanic as 7 Wonders Duel. So it's an automatic pickup. And that one should be out pretty soon. I think you'll start seeing this one very soon. So
yeah, I'm definitely getting that one.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought Gen Con was very good, other than just, there's really no surprises anymore. Or they just really hasn't in the last 2 years. Maybe there will be in the future. But it was, it was just fun seeing everybody. Went on Thursday night to the strike event, which is the rolling dice and taking names. I don't know if Marty's still in the chat, but went to that, and that was awesome. I take that back. I have been to one. It's been a few years back, but I was just kind of watching everything. But this year, I got to be involved in the strike event, and Marty and Tony are great. They put on a great event, and sat at a table with Isaac Childress and also Game Boy Geek Dan King.
Okay.
So it was just fun just hanging out with them because I hadn't seen those guys in quite a while. Because like Isaac used to live close here to Indianapolis, but now he lives out in California. In fact, because when I was with Man vs. Meeple, he brought over Gloomhaven basically kind of before it was even launched. We were playing and I just remember sitting there. This was when I was really starting to get into this, and everybody's looking around like, wow, this game is like really good. We hadn't seen anything like that, you know. So it was just neat catching up with him and everything. So I told him he needs to actually get a Gloomhaven Netflix animated series going, and he didn't quite answer back. So
never know.
Who knows? I don't know.
I'll put that teaser on the thumbnail.
Come on, Isaac, get that out there.
I probably watched that.
And then after that, then I got to play because I just started getting to Star Wars Unlimited. I don't know if you've played it yet, Anthony.
We haven't really played it yet.
Okay, it's a ton of fun. And so me, Tony, Marty, and another guy, his name's escaping me. We played what's called the Twin Sons version of it. Usually just playing 1 against 1. There's this Twin Sons version where it's 4 players all against each other. So, it's really, really neat. Cause like in a regular deck, you can have up to 3 of the same card in your deck. And when you're playing Twin Sun, you pick your own. Yeah. There's 2 leaders and every card in your deck's got to be different. So,
wow.
So it was a lot of fun. We played that late into the night. So that's always one of the fun things at Gen Con. If you can kind of get those gaming,
Right.
I did make it over to the hotel, which is the best, which I've last couple of years, like the JW Marriott. If you've ever been to India, it's the big blue hotel downtown, and they have an enormous conference room, and it's just gaming nonstop. It basically starts on Tuesday, and there's hundreds of tables in there filled, and everybody's playing any game and looking for players and all that sort of stuff, and that's all day and all night long. So that's almost where more people are spending their time is actually at the hotels.
Right.
And playing games. Go get your games and then go back to the hotels and then play.
I have heard
that's what I do.
It's easier. There's more places to play at the hotels than there is actually at the convention hall. So a lot of people.
That's usually the case.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing a lot. I've been seeing on other videos. They get the games, go through the expo hall, take it back to the hotel, and they spend the rest of the time playing games.
It's more casual, less loud.
Yeah,
you got food accessible, things like that.
The gaming space, even at PAX last year, I was just like, I cannot believe how many people are here playing games. And there wasn't a table space left. There had to be there was just thousands of people. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, you got to make it out to Gen Con sometime, Vanessa.
Yeah, it's insane.
Maybe.
Just to experience it. Yeah.
There was only
just the smells alone.
I don't know. I don't want to hear that again.
That's why we needed a breath of fresh air there.
Yeah.
He was
our
cleaning it up in there.
Yeah, he was our nose on the ground.
That's right. There's only one thing, I didn't get to see this year that I saw last year, but I didn't see any, nerds fights and getting thrown up against walls and everything. So, over Lorcana cards. They had that all set up a whole lot different this year.
I bet. It's crazy.
There was no smashing of people up against the wall.
Lorcana is it was so big last year, and now it's just kind of like, okay. Lorcana, it's got its fan base, but now people aren't like, I need it.
Well, here's the thing. The lines were incredibly long for it. But when I would go out to the tables or that stuff, no one's playing it. They're just, I think it's just mainly collectors. They just want the art.
Buying it and selecting it.
Yeah, they want the art. So
okay. What are you gonna do? It's put up on your wall or get those binders.
I think it's turned into a trading thing. It's almost like Pokemon cards. You just,
okay.
Yeah, no one's playing it. You're just trading.
You're just trading.
Look for the rares.
Yep, looking for the rares. That's exactly what you're doing. So.
Yep.
But overall, good Gen Con. Very
cool.
It's obviously built back up. They're building a brand new hotel downtown. I don't know if that's gonna be done next year. I don't think so, but they're building more space. This convention is not going anywhere anytime soon. So, It's just
That's
too
awesome.
massive. So
we will eventually get back out there.
Yes,
Yes.
we will.
Yep.
Be a lot
Yes,
of
maybe
fun.
maybe next
Maybe
year.
next year.
We'll see.
All right. Well, that was a great recap, Gare. We appreciate
Yeah.
you bringing all sorts of content tonight. I think we're at our,
Yeah.
we're at our hour. So, and I think we're gonna jump back in and talk even more Gen Con next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get Matt in
What's
here
that
and
game?
hear
Yeah.
the exhibitor side of it. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
hopefully
be
I've
cool.
played a couple of these other games for you, and I can give you my gist on them.
Yeah,
So-
I do am interested in a lot of the games you walk through, so I want to hear all about them from you.
Just curious, what are you guys playing coming up playing?
So we just burned through 3 Cranio games. We actually have one more to
One more to go, right behind us,
publish
called
behind us.
Mesos.
Mesos. So
Oh,
they're
that
all
was a
Luciani.
Popular
Yeah.
game. A lot of people were playing.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the table now. It's
good,
you're
yeah.
basically just every turn you have, you're just drafting a card from the top or bottom row, and you're trying to build your tribe of people, and there's like 6 or 8 different types of people, and each of them does a different thing in your tribe. Like it's like set collection, right?
Right.
So one will get you food, one actually get you victory points at the end of the game if you have different symbols.
One's like a shaman, one's a gatherer. One's like they're all thematic.
And every era, you just go 3 eras, and every era there's 4 different events that'll happen, and each event triggers one of the different types of tribesmen. So one will be the hunt, and you get extra food for every hunter you have in your tribe. Because there's another one called something to do with
It's
eating.
like a feed your people type
Yeah,
of
it's feed your
thing.
people.
Yeah.
So you have to pay a food for every single card you have in your tableau because you got to feed the tribesmen. But if you have like gatherers, they -3 from that cost. So if you get a bunch of them, you're almost self-sufficient. And if you can't pay the food, you have to pay in points.
So it's pretty cool because you can kind of build your tribe in different ways. So you can try to like leverage one strategy over another, but you definitely can't do everything.
Right.
But it's also dependent on what cards are available and what's getting drafted. There's like 2 action spots basically. At least for the 2-player game.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things where like if you're taking the action that lets you take more cards, you're sacrificing because you have to pay a food, and things like that. So it's pretty cool. We're excited to play that one.
Yeah, it's neat.
And then there were 2 others. We did a Golden Cup, which was like it's like one of those like sports games.
It's like
better probably with more people.
Battle arena type game.
Light, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really light.
Really light.
We played it at 2. You could play it with 6.
Yeah.
And there's 3 different arenas, and you'd be like battling different people every round.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing, there's a lot of like simultaneous move, like when you're kind of adding to your tableau and adjusting your team roster for the next fight. Then it goes into a battle. You draw all the tokens out of the bag to see who's hitting and who's hitting who, if they have defense up or not. And it's really just
interesting.
It's kind of like dodgeball. You're just getting a hit on the guy, and then you get points for it, depending on which of your champions did the damage, and that's determined by a number that you pull from the bag. So it's like it's really a lot of it's luck based,
right?
And then you have to roll dice, and the dice have to be a certain value for it to be a hit, even though the guy gets a shot off. If you get the hit, then you get the one who has the most hits at the end of the game wins that game, and you play through 6 different matches or whatever. But it was neat, but it's really light.
It was really light. And then the last one in that set was Plantanubo.
Oh yeah.
Which was
what do you think of that?
We had that thing on our table for like 2 weeks maybe because we kept playing it and like not that we understand it, but it was just like it was just like stuff for the sake of stuff. The thing is, you had 3 designers, really like a designer team, and then you had Uwe, and it's like you could see where they all have their strengths,
right?
But they just put everything in it. Like they're just like there was no. I don't know. I mean, it was just kind of like you just had a little bit of everything, and I'm not convinced that it needed to be that way. So it's very long to get to the table, understand the rules for a playtime that I also felt was a little longer than it probably needed to be.
It played longer than it should, just because you're doing a lot of on your turn. You have a lot of those like optional actions you can take. So then an optional action will trigger another action, and you're trying to track all these actions you're triggering as you're going along.
So really difficult if you screw something up to like walk it back, or like, oh, I didn't qualify for that. I got to take it back, but you don't remember where you came back from. And there's a lot of like pointers to make the game smoother in the rule book, and
Yeah,
I'm just
when
like,
when you
if
see
you gotta
those-
put those through all through a whole rule book, it's kind
They
of
know
like,
that you're getting lost at some point.
Like, you know, get lost,
yeah.
so-
So it was
it was
just one of those.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go watch the review for like how we felt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
definitely.
hate it. But it
No,
was
we
just
didn't hate
it
it.
was
It was-
just
it was okay,
really
but-
hard to get
yeah.
your head around it, and it's like one of those where you have to really track so much stuff
Yeah.
that it gets tiring,
Yes.
and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about this movie
Right.
anymore.
Right.
But coming up, so on the crowdfunding front, we're not doing a ton of crowdfunding. Like we're just kind of saying no to a lot of stuff. But we do have a Deliverance has an expansion coming up, so we'll be covering that
was exciting.
next month. We are doing Vidal's new game, so Speakeasy. We'll be covering that, which we're also super excited about, which is launching at the end of September. And then we have we're going to do another Primal, yeah, scenario because they have a pre-order or a release or something like that that's happening. I have to look at my notes. So we're playing another one of those, which
was cool because we did the campaign, we did the first mission,
right?
So now we'll do the second mission with the same heroes and just continue that.
And then published stuff. We have Heroes.
Oh
3.
yeah, so we just
Speaking
got
about that.
in Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Yeah.
Super. I like that. It's based on the video game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I haven't played it yet, but it's like a deck builder. I was reading through the rules today. It's deck builder, and you kind of have like land tiles that you reveal. If you ever played the video game, you'll know it looks exactly like it. And as you move your like champions around the board, like the map reveals, and there's a bunch of different like buildings that have different bonuses, like shrines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you go to the cities and you start getting resources and stuff. So it's just like the game. And then it has this whole sideboard that you play out your cards, and your deck you're building are your champions, all the different monsters that are fighting for you. So then you put them out on this board as like your lineup of monsters, and you fight the other side. So the game will play like competitively, cooperatively, and solo campaign as well.
Oh,
so there's like so many ways you can play. It's crazy, man. I'm reading the rules. I'm like, this is really good.
Who makes that?
I don't. It's over there. I don't know if you can see it.
I can go get it.
You can go grab a copy of it.
That sounds really cool.
Dude, it looks really good, man. So I can't wait to. That's actually going to be next after we film Mesos. No, Ubisoft. Yeah, it's
Arkan Studio.
Ubisoft is on here, but it's.
I guess that would be the video game producer.
Yeah, it looks just like it. So see,
It's Arkan Studio.
Archon Studio. That's the publisher.
Interesting. Huh.
Yes. So we've got that.
From these same folks, we're getting the new Master of Orion.
Yes, that's the other one I was thinking of that's coming up too.
Now, if you ever played the other Master of Orion that was out a few years ago,
I never played that.
It's a card game. It's pretty good. It's actually, I played that at a convention, and I thought it was really good. So I heard there's a new one coming out. I don't know if it's the same vein, but it's based on the Master of Orion video game.
Yeah.
Which I'm a sucker for those like 4X space games. I mean, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So I love like Master of Orion anyway. So I'm like, I want to see this one too.
Yeah. So let's see. We got that. And then what's the other one I'm thinking of? Oh, I know we don't have anything concrete on this, but I know Awaken Realms is doing Puerto Rico again.
Yeah,
they're doing that. I did Uber Deluxe version.
Yes, I think from what I understand, right, like kind of like they did with Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah, to me that's what it looks like.
It looks out and awesome.
Like actual boats.
Yeah, like sick, man. If it's anything like Castles of Burgundy, it's remake.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll
nuts.
Oh man, that game's so nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely like the Cadillac of board games. Man.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I got a quick question for you. So far, so what were we at? Now we're in the middle of August. What's your favorite game so far you think you've played? I think for me, Ezra Nehemiah would be on the list for maybe top 3 at right now. I know Essen changes everything every year. And I'm telling you, video game champion, I loved it so much after I played it. And I would say Star Wars Unlimited. That is
loving it, huh?
I told myself after Destiny, I'm not going to get into another TCG or TCG with dice or whatever, but it just plays so fast. It's so good. I really, really like that game.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, definitely do. Because it plays fast. And I love this whole mechanic where when you play a card, it automatically goes into exhaust, right?
Mhm.
And then the other player goes. So it's not like in Magic where they play a card, you know, and now it's going to be you're sitting there and waiting and watching them just do all this stuff. And
Yeah, they all trigger.
Yeah,
it's just back and forth. So yeah, it's fun. Really enjoy it.
All right,
That's cool.
I'm just afraid that if I do play it, I'm gonna love it, and then I'm gonna start
course.
buying more of it. And I don't want to go down that trap, man.
Then
It's
you'll
so
be
bad.
smashing people up against the wall to get your.
I know. So this was my like new and shrink, right?
That's incredible.
That's
I've never
impressive.
seen
You
one in
can find
shrink.
that.
Yeah, this is like
That's a unicorn.
that is a unicorn, man. That
Pretty
is
much.
absolutely you can't find that in the wild anywhere. And it came with promos.
And you got the promos, but you haven't played it yet.
Well, I don't know. It's almost like, do you break the plastic on that?
I know.
It's like,
We're like, we have a lot of games to play. Maybe we can wait on
yeah,
that.
It's like a comic in those
Yeah.
cases with its 9.8.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't
yeah,
know.
I can't. I don't know if I can. I cracked the seal, man. It's not.
I
It's
know.
worthless, man.
Go
It's
play
not
it on a
good.
computer somewhere. I can't
Yeah.
break the seal.
Yeah, I can't break the
Right.
seal. Man. Kidding me? So that I'm holding off on. But I did. What I did acquire as well is a copy of Civilization: New Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one has been kind of piquing my interest. What I'm trying to do now that we've like really reduced our collection is to hone in on what I want and get the games that I want to really hold at the core. Right? I know I love Civ Builders and I love Sid Meier's Civilization, the video game. Anyway, I know the new one's coming out. And I can't wait to play that as well. But that's one game I'll just play for just hundreds of hours. It's stupid, but
It's so good.
it really is. So I grabbed Civilization. I got it with the expansion for like a deal, man. Like all in one box with a freaking insert, a wooden insert for like $50, man. It was ridiculous.
That's like, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So it was such a steal. So I was so that's one I really want to get. I've never played it and it looks so good. Just reading the rules, it looks like it has like the mechanic like in I think it's in Arc Nova where you have the 5 cards out and then when you play it goes to the end of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Civilization has that mechanism, and every card is a technology,
right?
Or a type of category, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like one's agriculture, one's something else. So when you play that, it lets you do like move on the board and do stuff on the board, but then it goes back to the end. You can't use it again until later. So it's like, and the longer you wait, the more powerful it is on the card. So it's the same mechanic. And then as you go up in technology, how you have to go through the eras. You're empowering up those cards, so they power up like 4 times each because you go through 4 eras.
Right.
So really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool mechanic. So I definitely for it's been out a while too. It's not a new game.
Oh, that's an old game. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Fantasy Flight, so it's really well done.
Which reminds me, I'll say this real quick: is then you probably want to get that played because the big one is coming out at Essen is Civolution, the Stefan Feld ginormous Civilization game.
Yeah.
Which I heard was at Gen Con. I think maybe somebody might have been showing it off, but I never saw it. It could have been rumor. And then and I just blanked on the other one I was going to say. Anyways, I know that Civolution is going to be really, really big. Oh, the game I did see, and I think this one's going to be right up your guys' alley, at least to try, is I didn't get the chance to demo it because the table was, there was only like 1 or 2 tables, is the new CGE game SETI.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah.
Oh, in person, you're like, wow, there's a lot going on here, but it looks so cool with that board and there's spinning things going on. You're like that one looks super, super fun. I'm looking forward to that one.
We'll try to get a hold of that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this year we had. Well, we just did Beyond the Horizon as well. That's definitely at the top of my list
the top
for
list
this year.
For sure.
Yep, I've heard a lot of people like that.
And then Salton Sea was really good too earlier this year. That might still be at the top. We played a lot of really good games, but that's like at the top of my head. That's what I'm thinking of.
Hegemony.
Hegemony.
Oh, you get to play it finally?
Yes.
We played it.
We played it at 4.
Oh,
it was really good.
We played half a game because it got so late.
It was probably 3/4.
But half a game, you know what you're in for. Like It's starting to really pick up at that point. And I was a capitalist, of course.
Yes. Yes, that's what I was when I played.
Yeah. It's I'm not big on those different like functional roles where everybody has a specific role,
like faction specific.
Yeah, like because you have to learn a different game depending on who you're playing as.
Yeah,
because it's your actions are different. What you're allowed to touch on the board is different. Whether or not you have to pay your people is different. Like, you know what I mean? So,
but it was really cool. I played the government.
Yeah,
like,
she was
the government.
She was a state bet.
Thematically.
Yeah, she was.
Thematically, yes. So, and then we played with my parents. So, like, yeah, and they were, I don't know, they were like, one of them was like the socialist one.
Yeah.
So of course, like Anthony's like,
of course
burning them the whole time.
They kept striking on me, and I kept lowering.
So good. So it really is a good game, I think, to play, like especially with people you know.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's like
the game was so ridiculously good.
It was
make sure
really,
really good.
So offending anyone in any way.
And you know, the thing is once you get playing, because when I played it, only 2 people played it. I hadn't played it yet, but I knew what faction I was going to be, so I just studied it. But I kind of picked up on everybody else's after a couple rounds. I'm like, okay,
you do pick up
I see what everybody's doing here. I just need to focus on my thing. I got a little bit of knowledge of what they're doing, and that game just sings. It just is. It's so good.
Yeah, once you get humming and it clicks, you're like, "This is wow!" Like, and you get you almost get like a power trip from your role because of all the things you can do to influence the board. And everybody has like a sort of that equal level of power to do that
in different ways,
and they screw everybody else. But it's so funny, man.
Yeah,
so good. Yeah, I would love to get one back to the table soon. So
so that's one we're holding on to for sure because I was just like, that's
definitely.
Like, so it's just so different.
It is. And they got a new game coming out. They kind of they just had it a box here. It's called World Crisis or something. It's a standalone. That'll be coming out, I think, in Essence. So they have a new, not anywhere the size and scale of Hegemony, but it looks pretty interesting.
Nice.
I could be wrong, but maybe some card driven stuff in there too. So, but anyways, that looked pretty neat. But
cool.
Awesome. I still want to get my Mr. President to the table as well.
Yes. Wait, did you get
save that for election season?
I have it new and shrink right now.
Save it for November.
It's sitting over here. Yeah, it's up there. You can't see it.
As part of our collection reduction, so we were selling a bunch of games, and I was also bartering trades as well on Facebook. So
we were like giving away many games to just get one game.
One game, like I want this game. I can get it without paying for it.
Yeah.
Done. Right. I need to reduce my profile. So we're so close. We are so close to being like,
I think like by the end of the year, we should be able to do like here's what we kept.
Yeah.
Update.
You know that would be a fun update to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like our full list of games.
Because one game I want to get up to the table is Campaign Trail. I almost got the big play mat. But I forgot to go back and get it. But I
think we have that one too.
Do we?
I have the big deluxe.
No, I don't think we have that.
No? Oh. Okay.
Gray Fox sells that.
Maybe not.
Now.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You let me know how that is, if that's good.
Yeah. Well, I know it's always a big hit. So.
Yeah.
But we'll have to get that to table. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's all we have right now. I mean, I've got like one of my trades was for Edge of Darkness, which I'd never played, and Vindication.
Oh, you never played it? It's good.
Yeah. Vindication is my pride. It's my pride because I got the whole
all the stuff.
Kickstarter.
I know.
The whole
that looks unopened. Really good.
It was part of a trade.
Oh, so you have not played Vindication?
No.
Uh-oh. It's good.
You might not see us in 20.
I heard it was really good.
It's really good. It's very, very good. It's one I never got, but because I always played like David Waybright because he's a huge Vindication fan. So I played it with him, and that's a very, very good game. Very unique.
Yeah.
So that's
funny. Like the piles we have over here, you guys can't see, but it's like Primal. Like it's a whole stack, like a 3 foot by 3 foot stack of boxes for Primal.
Huge.
And then Edge of Darkness. And then,
which is huge,
Vindication.
The two of us. It took us the two of us like 2 hours to sleeve Primal when it came.
Right, it's crazy,
dude. There was a box this big of just sleeves.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because the whole game is a card game. Like it's a deck builder.
Yeah,
so there's just cards for every monster has their own deck. So it's just cards on top of cards. But what a
It's a bo-
smooth
it's a-
system.
It's a boss battler,
Boss
right?
battler.
Boss battle,
Yeah.
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 With a campaign. So you have like
Yeah.
campaign, you craft new weapons
Yeah.
with the stuff you get from the monsters you kill.
Oh, so it's like a loot drop.
It's like
Yes.
it's like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So at the
Oh.
end of the fight, it'll tell you
Yeah.
what materials you got, and you add them to your
Yeah.
Right.
inventory, and then you go back to camp and you craft weapons and armor and
Yeah.
items, and then you
Damn.
go back.
I didn't know
and
there was
fight
all
the next-
that.
And you may
Dude,
pick
it's
like a camp,
crazy.
like
World of
because the
Warcraft in a
campaign,
box.
yeah, like you may pick a track that'll take you to a specific type of animal because your faction
Mhm.
specializes in like bone crafting or something
Right.
like that. So yeah,
Oh,
it's-
that
it's
sounds
really
really
cool.
cool.
And then you'll have every chapter you beat, it'll bring out new quest cards. It'll
Mhm.
because tell you which cards to bring out, and those quest cards will tell you the 2 different monsters you have to choose from.
yeah,
And then you choose the monster you want to go fight. And as you get up in level, the monsters will get progressively stronger. So each
Yeah.
monster has a different like
version
strength level
Yeah.
depending on how far in the campaign you are. So it
wow.
scales up with you.
You can
Oh,
encounter the
yeah.
same monster multiple times,
Yeah.
but like he's way stronger.
And he
like, the
plays
third
completely
time or
differently.
something.
Yeah, like there's like an AI
Insane.
for every monster and
Yeah.
and within their deck as well. So it's crazy, man.
So you
Like,
can't go like in the god mode halfway through and just
no,
blast
No.
everybody.
no. It's scale because it'll make you fight the
Mhm.
harder level of that monster
Right.
based on what level of your upgrades you've got.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I
It's a
saw,
neat system.
yeah, that is. Did Awakened Realms do that?
No.
No.
No, surprisingly, yeah.
But I saw the box. I saw it at Gen Con.
It
I
was,
just like it was just huge. It's bigger than Edge.
It's just a huge white box. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's massive.
massive.
The file
Yeah.
is massive just because
Mhm.
it's all the expansions and
Right.
in every expansion it's just minis, but the minis
Yeah.
are all the
Big-
The
monsters are all
minis
this
are
big.
not mini; they are big.
They're all big because every mini is
Yeah.
a monster boss. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Reggie Games.
Reggie Games.
Reggie
is-
Games.
Who's
Okay.
Reggie Games?
So that was so we got another playthrough of that coming, which
Yeah.
is because our
Cool.
first one was like you have a prologue and then we did
We did
chapter
the-
1 fought. So
Yeah.
you fight a prologue monster. He gives you certain stuff. You craft. You fight the next monster, and we had a choice. We picked one. We beat him,
Mhm.
and now we have a choice again of some more monsters. So it's like, okay, who do we want to fight
Yeah.
now? And then we have to do our upgrades, and then we fight. So our next video is going to be the next fight. So it's technically our 3rd fight. So
Yeah.
our guys are pretty leveled up.
Right. Oh, that'll be fun. I'll look forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this would be cool.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All
so-
right.
All right.
Cool. Well, now we're at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so we're late. Yeah, we ran late, but that's good. It was
That's
good
good.
getting,
This is all good
getting back,
stuff.
talk
All
about games.
Yeah.
So we're going to be back next week. We'll talk about more Gen Con from the merchant side
Yeah.
and any other game updates we have along the way. And we'll do,
Sounds
yeah,
good.
so and then we'll do that. We'll do the live.
Oh, yeah.
for the
Yeah,
Launchpad next
absolutely.
week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
We'll be
definitely
ready.
jump on.
Cool.
Okay.
Great. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one. We'll
See you
see
guys.
ya.
Good night, everyone.